Kia ora, welcome to Baha'i On Air. I'm Bev Watson. I'm the National Coordinator of the Race Unity Speech Awards, which were initiated by the New Zealand Baha'i community 13 years ago. The Speech Awards are now sponsored by the New Zealand Police and have strong support from the Human Rights Commission and the Office of Ethnic Affairs. Normally, students who enter the competition are provided with one quotation which they are required to refer to in their speech. This year, however, we provided them with two quotations, a Māori proverb or whakatauki and a quotation from the Baha'i holy writings. The Māori proverb or whakatauki is, "There is but one eye of the needle through which the white thread, the black thread and the red thread traverse." And from the Baha'i writings, "Man is intelligent and thoughtful, endowed with powers of mind. Why then should he be influenced by distinction of colour or race, since all belong to one human family?" Each year, the Human Rights Commission selects a theme for Race Relations Day, celebrated on 21st March. Our habit in recent years has been to adopt that as the theme for our Race Unity Speech Awards, which this year was My Dream for Aotearoa, New Zealand. Regional heats were held throughout New Zealand from the far north district to Dunedin, and students selected to advance to the national semi-finals in Auckland. They were flown to Auckland under the sponsorship of the New Zealand Police, our primary sponsors. Once there, they were divided into three national semi-finals, each judged by a panel of three judges, normally comprising a member of the New Zealand Police, the Human Rights Commission and the Office of Ethnic Affairs or some other appropriate organisation.
My dream for Aotearoa is to be collectively welcomed in a society of New Zealanders, devoid of the prejudice that taints our lush rolling green hills.
Every day we must learn to accept. Every day we must learn to love. And every day we must be grateful for this precious gift of diversity.
No matter what ethnicity you are, we all have two eyes, one nose, and one mouth. And why does people discriminate others just because they have different skin colour?
The top students from each of the semi-finals then advanced to the national final, which took place the following day. Students can present their speeches in either Māori or English, and our first speaker at the national semi-final was Morehu Allen, a Year 12 student of Ngākākano Christian College in Auckland. Morehu chose to give his speech in Te Reo Māori. He was judged by a panel comprising speakers who are fluent in Te Reo and others who are not. They were able to judge his speech by way of a transcript in English.
More really excited than nervous because it's the finals and it's good to get here because there's a lot of stages before it, so it's cool that I got here and make the most of it tonight.
E no honau te tihi o tōku maunga hakahi, ko whakataha. E rere ana tōku reo I te kou au o kutupuna. I te pupuhi o te hou, ki te rere ngā wairua kia rā tauma, kua wehea tura. Moi te tihi, ka tiro kauana ki raro ki te awarere atuana, e ko piko ana ki ngā ngari o te pē whairangi, ko waitangi tēnā. Hoi, hoi, hoi ara. Ko mātātua te waka e hoi ana ki tōku marae, ki tōku whare o kioki, ko tau whara tēnā. Tū moke ana te tūpuna whare o te rangi a whiowhio. Heuri au, no te whiu, no ngai te waka ki te tua whenua, ngā puhi tangata, ngā puhi ko whaurau, tihewa, mauriora. He mihi kātiki tō tātou kaihanga, te matuanui te rangi, te tīmatanga me te kautinga o ngā mea katoa, tēnei kamihi. Ki ngā tini mate, ngā mate huhu o te wā kua he moi ngā rā, I ngā wiki, I ngā mārama kua pāhuri ake nei, moi mai, o kio ki mai ai koutou. Ka hoki mai kia tātou te hungaora, ngā waihotanga o rā tauma, tēnā rā tātou katoa. Ko tahi te kōhao te ngira, e kuhuna ai te miro mā, te miro pango, me te miro whero. Nā tā kingi potatau tēnei kōrero e haka puaki. Nō reira, He mihi whānui tēnei ki te kīngitanga, mai te kingi tuatahi, au patatau te wherawhero, tai noa kia kingi tu heitia, e noho anei te huirewa tapu i tēnei rā. Rire, rire, hau, pai mārire. Ko te tikanga o tēnei hakatauki, kia mau ki te aroha, me te hakapono, kia ngā tahi ai tātou. Nā tēnei hakatauki, te tino aronga o tōku moimoia, mo tōku whenua tipua, au te aroa. Kia ngā tahi ai te titiro, te kōrero, ara, te wairua. Heo iano, toko toru ngā wāhanga o te katauki nei. Ko te tuatahi, ko te ngira, ko te tuarua, ko ngā miro, ko te tuatoru, ko te korowai atawhai. Nā mō kū te korowai, hea ka rāranga hia, hea ka marumarutanga mā tātou. Tuatahi, te ngira. I te tīmatanga ko te kupu, ko te atua te kupu, ko te atua no te kupu i te tīmatanga. Nā te atua te ngira, nā te miro e kuhu. Ki te kore te ngira, kia kore te miro e kuhu. Ki te kore te atua, kia kore tātou ngaiwi e piri. Nō nā te kairāranga, i kō mitimiti hiai a tātou, ahakoa kō wai, ahakoa no hia. Nā o naringa, tātou e hanga, nā tō natawhai, tātou e piri. Nō nā kaurua tātou ki runga i te mato te whenua, kia noho tahi ai te rangi mārie, me te akapono. E tika ana te akatau ki nei, aro haina tētahi, ki raro i te koroe o te atua. Haka paua tō ngā kau ki te kawhirina ki keiwa, kau wara e tā huri ki wahi kē, i au wara kato, haka aro ki aia, māne ka tikau harahi. Wahanga tuarua, ko ngā miro. Nau te raurau, nā kū te raurau, ka ora ai tātou teiwi. Ko ngā miro, ko ngā tangata kato te ao, ahakoa pēhia te āhua. Ko ngā raurau, ko te rere kētanga o ngā reo, me ngā tikanga, o iaiwi, o te ao whānui. Nā te hononga o ngā raurau ngaiwi katoa, tō tātou tino oranga. Ahakoa haina mana mai, Māori mai, Pākehā mai, Inyana mai, i te tōnga o te rā. He whānau ko tahi tātou. Ko te akatau ki nei, hutia te rito te harakeke, kai hea rā te kōmako eko, uia mai kia hau, he aha te mea nui o tēnei ao. Nā mā kū e ki atu, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. Me nā ka tīni te ahua te tahi tangata, kia ori te ki te tahi atu, ka ngaro haere te tino rere kētanga, ka whānako hia te tino ahurei, tō te tangata. I te awa te Pākehā, ko te haka waimeha. Nā reira, ka ore tika kia ka hāwea tia, e tētahi, te ahua tētahi. Ki te kore tātou pupuri tai tō tātou a kia hurea, ka ngaro ai tō tātou oranga. Nā reira, kia mau ki te kura whero, kia mau ki te kura tā whiwhi, kia waihoeka mō monama te whenua tangata. Kia mau ki ngā tau ngawa tā tumatua tūpuna, ko tēnā te mana o teiwi. Wahanga tuatoru, ko te korowai atawhai. Tuia te rangi ki te whenua, tuia te herenga tangata kia ka whiti atu ki te whai au, ki te ao mārama. Ko te hakapono, ko te tūmanako, ko te aroha. E nei mea e toru, e rangi ko te mea nui, ko te aroha. Nā e nei mea e toru, te tino wairu o te korowai nei. Kia ka piri, kia ka honohono wai ngaiwi katoa, ki runga i te kāro kotahi, ara, kai raro i te korowai kotahi, kia ngā tahia i te wairua. I ngā wā te he, nā te korowai, i awhi, i hāpai te tangata. Ko te akatau ki nei, mā pango, mā whero, kaora ai teiwi. Ko te korowai atawhai tēnā. Nā te atua te ngira, nā te miro e kuhu. Nā ngaiwi katoa te miro, hea ka rāranga hia te koro e ata whai, hea ka marumarutanga mā tātou, no reira rauranga tirama, hea ka rā popototanga mā kū. Tuatahi, tangira, ko te atua tangira, hea ka piri ai tātou ngaiwi. Tuarua, ko ngā miro, ko ngā tangata katoa te ao, aha kua pēhia te āhua, kia pupuri tai tō tātou a kia hurea. Tuatoru, ko te koro e ata whai, ko te akapono, ko te tūmanako, ko te aroha. Nā nei mea e toru tō tātou a ka marutanga, kia ngā tahi ai tātou katoa. Nō reire te tī, e te tā, ko tēnei tōku moi ama tōku whenua tipua, au te aroa. Tukuna ngā waka o te hakapono kia tere, e hoi tēnei tō nawaka, i tō nawaka, tuturua whitiaka maua kia tīna, tīna, haumie, huie, taikie.
The quote was kind of like the basis of the speech, so I was basing everything on that quote. The first section was the needle, which was God who weaves us together to make a beautiful cloak of peace. Pretty much a cloak of pieces are made up of whakapono, tūmanako and aroha, so peace, love and harmony. And so pretty much the conclusion of the speech is so that all of us can live in harmony, we need to act as one, like that the colour of the skin doesn't matter because we're all one family. Yeah, I made a lot of friends, different speakers, different MCs too, getting to know the judges, getting to know different people high up in the Baha'i community. It's real cool, and just getting to know different cultures and how everyone's different in a way, but it's cool how we all can connect through what we do.
Our second speaker was Rita Linen, a Year 13 student from Kaitaia College in Northland.
It takes a village to raise a child. Only when surrounded by different people who have come together as a whole can this child learn to live and to love. Only when experiencing a melting pot of personalities and opinions can this child hope to grow and develop its own values. Only by being taught that differences should be celebrated and not mocked can this child hope to live peacefully within the village. Say that this child was not raised by the village, but rather by one family who had been in the village longer than all others. This child is kept inside with siblings who all look and talk the same, who all have similar opinions and all have similar personalities. The day that this child is allowed outside is the day that they realize the people next door aren't the same. They look funny. Their food's weird. They talk strange. They're different. And the child is frightened because the most terrifying and infuriating thing in the world is a thing which you do not understand. This fear and this anger is passed down to the next child and the next and the next until one day someone else moves to the village who is not the same. And suddenly, the person next door just doesn't seem so different anymore because the two houses and their families have something to unite them. A deep mistrust of the third. We are the children. We have been kept cooped up inside our houses instead of wandering through and appreciating the diversity of our village. I am not saying that we are completely cut off from each other. There is undoubtedly an element of biculturalism in New Zealand. We boast the coexistence of two distinct cultures. Two. Meaning in this context, Māori and the loosely termed New Zealand European. These are the first two houses. Our problem is our views on the third house, and the fourth house, the fifth house, the rest of the village, really. Because, hey, we were here first, weren't we? Our houses are oldest, aren't they? So therefore, we have a claim to the village that others just simply don't. In this mentality, we truly are childish. Of course we don't have a claim. We are the children, true. But at some point, all children must learn to share. And this is a lesson that we need to learn fast, all of us, before our selfishness leads to more resentment. We need to learn this. Our government has already promised that we will share 30,267 New Zealand residency applications from 196 different countries were accepted in the 2012 to 2013 quarter alone. Our village is becoming vast and varied, and if we don't keep up, the only people who we will alienate will be ourselves, as we live with our fear of the great unknown. Think of how long it took for Māori and Europeans to coexist in a reasonably fair and united society. We celebrate both cultures now, and in everyday life, at least in my community, race just isn't an issue. I was raised in the far north, and we have this biculturalism down. But when it comes to accepting other cultures, especially Asian cultures, I will admit that I am often shocked by what people say. Maybe they don't mean it. Maybe they're just going along with the crowd. But this child was raised to believe that if you don't have anything nice to say, you should not be saying anything at all. This child was raised to believe in the idea that in order to get something, you have to give something. Call it science, call it equivalent exchange, call it karma, if you will. But this child was raised to believe that treating everybody with respect was just common sense. I don't want anyone judging the depth of my character based on my ethnicity. There have been many times in my life when I have wished that I was not white. When I have wished that I was part of another culture, anything to be less of a stereotype in society's eyes. And when I think of my own life, and the fact that I have wanted for nothing and come from nowhere, I think of those 30,267 other people who must also be trying to break society's expectation of them. If I find it difficult to be proud of my heritage, and I am one of the approved houses in the village, what must it be like for them? The others. The ones the rest of society deems fresh off the boat, despite the fact that their families have been here for generations. How do we change this? How do we unite our village? I believe in education. Education at home, education in schools, and education in our communities. We need to learn more about our various cultures. Learning Te Reo Māori and English just isn't enough. Knowing the karakia and the Lord's Prayer just isn't enough. We have Māori Language Week, we have Race Relations Day once a year, and the rest of the year is nothing. How many of us here actually celebrate Chinese New Year and Holi and Kwanzaa? How many of us here actually know when those are, or what those are? We need to learn. I beg you, educate yourself. Educate your children. Do something different. Our society has fallen into Einstein's idea of insanity because all we are doing is repeating the same actions over and over again with the hope that this will give us different results. We were the children, but the time has come for us to grow up and take matters into our own hands. Soon the next generation will be leading the way, and people will look to us for guidance. What values will we lead with? What life will we live? What ideas will we give to our children? Ko tai te kōwhao te nira e kuna ai te miro mā, te miro pango, me te miro whiro. My dream for Aotearoa New Zealand is a simple one. I want New Zealand to be a place free of prejudice. I want us to be a country who has learned from our own mistakes as well as the mistakes of others. I want New Zealand to be a country which values and acknowledges all her people, whether they have been here for 5 days or 5 generations. This is the life I choose to live. This is the example I choose to lead with. And this is the idea that I choose to give to my children. It takes a village to raise a child, and many threads to bind that village together. The fates of ancient Greek mythology used many threads to determine the future, and I think it is time we did the same. It is us who will inherit this future after all. So why wouldn't we want it to be bright? Thank you.
In case you've just joined us, this episode is featuring the 13th year of the annual Race Unity Speech Awards. The topic this year was My Dream for Aotearoa New Zealand, and the third speaker on the night of the national final was Kelly Harris, a Year 13 student from Barradine College in Auckland.
So my teachers just encouraged me. They said, look, here's the speech competition. If anyone's interested, go ahead and register. And yeah, so I took the opportunity. I think it's easy to think that racism is just, it's something I guess we hear a lot about, oh, don't be racist, don't be racist. It's hard to look at it in a fresh perspective, but I think really the more you write about it, the more you think about it, you start to see it from new ways and how there is a way that we can combat it. I looked at that about how we are united as humans, but we just tend to create these divides. But also I wanted to talk about how my own experiences as Eurasian, because I don't really get the opportunity to talk to people about how that affects my life and coming from two ethnic backgrounds.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Good evening, and welcome to the dawn of a new era. Together, as we embark upon the modern age, in a world whose pace is faster, more rapidly changing than ever before, the time has come to discard the shackles of the past and boldly stride into the future, a future shaped by our dreams. Dreams that start off as the purest representation of the human condition, and from their infancy grow to challenge the world we know. Tonight, I'd like to share with you my dream for Aotearoa New Zealand. Racism, if you excuse the pun, is not a black and white problem. Before we can break down the wall between our dreams and reality, we must first chip away at it, brick by brick, to see what lies at its very core. Being a Eurasian New Zealander, I've seen firsthand the many layers to racism, as well as experienced a unique set of ethnic challenges, shall we say, from which box do I tick on the census, to complete strangers constantly asking me where I'm from. I've had people ask me if I'm from Italy, India, Mexico, Myanmar, Kyrgyzstan, and Korea. The list goes on. One does grow weary of the old, when did you come to New Zealand? Your English is very good. It used to frustrate me as a child. I couldn't understand why people didn't get that, hey, maybe I'm mixed. But as I've grown older, I've come to realize that this is the world we live in. Society is all too good at putting people into boxes, and the census says tick one. People aren't just bits of trash that you can sort into recycling bins. We are so much more than an ignorant collection of assumptions. So why do we continue to make them? The foundation of racism is built upon a culture of stereotypes that none too often people inflict upon themselves. I was never white enough to be one of the white girls, so people always put me in the metaphorical Asian basket. So I guess I followed. I could tell you practically nothing about my memories at primary school, and yet I remember so vividly the pockets of children taunting my squinty eyes, the teachers telling me to stop being a tattletale, I sitting there alone with a book in my lap wondering, why does the world have to work this way? I live in a world where people accuse me of eating dogs, where complete strangers cowering behind their car windows yell at me to go back to China, Ching Chong. There are people out there that honestly believe my very existence as a person of mixed race is a crime against nature, that my father is just some creepy white man and my mother his little submissive Asian wife. These are not just archetypes. These are people. These are my parents. It is a cruel realization to face that you are already born into a world bound by prejudice. And with it surrounding us constantly, we begin to believe it ourselves. As a child, I shouldn't have had to grow up feeling like I'd never be the beautiful princess because my hair was straight and dark. And now, I shouldn't feel guilty if I am perpetuating Asian stereotypes, if I do tick some of the boxes. Because, yes,
I am a terrible driver. Yes, I do play violin and piano, but note, I do not practice 5 hours every day, nor do I face the threat of bringing shame upon my family as the core of my very existence. We need to start examining these illusions that have blinded us with these ideas, because in the end, these form the foundation on which racism, the wall between our dreams and reality, stands. Atop it, mental abuse, physical violence, and extremism flourish. I have made a pact to never let myself feel that way again, or let stereotypes guide my thinking, because I'm lying to myself if I'm saying I'm being a realist, when the reality is, I am being a racist. Ko tahi te kowhai o te nere e kahuna ai te miro mā, te miro pango me te miro whero. There is but one eye of the needle through which the white thread, the black thread, and the red thread traverse. We are so intent on creating these divides, these societies within our societies, when in the end, we are united as humans by our consciousness, cognitive reasoning, the ability to question, challenge, act, and ultimately, to love. As the great Albus Dumbledore, professor of Hogwarts School in Witchcraft and Wizardry, once said, differences of habit and language are nothing if our aims are identical and our hearts are open. Consider this. If someone says, I'm proud to be black, that's totally acceptable in our society. If someone says, I'm proud to be Asian, that's totally fine. But when someone says, I'm proud to be white, suddenly it's not okay. Isn't the whole ideology behind any sort of racial pride or superiority completely ludicrous? Congratulations, you are now this colour due to a genetic accident. Bravo. Why don't we take pride out of the equation when what we mean to say is we are not ashamed? Why not see and celebrate the beauty and diversity and what we have to give and to gain from each other? In New Zealand, of all places, we have the whole world on our doorstep. The many facets that comprise a culture open to you when you open your heart to something new. It is there we will find the truth. You can't have a speech on a dream for race unity without mentioning Martin Luther King Jr. But aside from his dreaming, we must remember, in order to achieve anything, he said we needed to break the silence. And so I challenge you to break your silence. Make a pact to no longer accept the racism of yourself or those around you. Open your heart to something new. And maybe that will be the key to breaking down this wall of racism. Together we can conquer it. Together we will make it crumble and create a new reality, united as one human family. If there is just one last thing I'd like to leave you with tonight, it's this: that we are all like refrigerators. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, silver, red, pink, or polka dotted. It's what's on the inside that counts. And it is there that you will see the light. Thank you, and good evening.
Experience has been incredible. When I entered, I just didn't really expect much. I thought, hey, I've got something to say. Oh God, and getting this far and just being able to meet all these people and hearing their ideas, I feel so inspired that I can do something with my life to make a difference, that we have a voice.
Thank you for watching Baha'i On Air. This episode has featured the annual Race Unity Speech Awards, this year on the theme of My Dream for Aotearoa New Zealand. Next time you will see another 3 of these wonderful young speakers. Please join us then. Ka kite.